The earnings gap is a real thing. Men, on average, do get paid more than women. However, it is not due to systemic or institutionalized sexism as feminists claim. The discrepancy in earnings that we see between men and women is based on comparing the average income of men to the average income of women working full-time without considering any variables. It is not based on men and women working the same jobs as feminists claim, but even when men and women are working the same job, there are a number of reasons why men get paid more, and I'm going to list some of them. Here are 9 reasons men get paid more than women. I should mention that much of this video is going to be covering many of the same points that I made in my other video, 36 Stupid Feminist Questions Answered, but I'm going to go into more detail this time. 1. Men work longer hours. In 2000, 19% of men worked 50 hours per week or more, compared to only 7% of women. Women are also less likely to enter jobs that require long work hours. 2. Men are more likely to ask for raises. Men are 4 times more likely to ask for raises in salary than women. Men also negotiate for higher starting salaries. Even female employers will pay women less if they are willing to work for less. 3. Men take less time off. On average, women vacation every 10 months compared to men who vacation every 12 months. Women are also substantially more likely to take sick days. It's not because women are less healthy than men, but because men are more likely to work despite being sick. 4. Men are more competitive. A study of 7,000 participants found that even when women prospecting for a job outnumbered men 80 to 20, men were still far more likely to actually submit their applications after being told that their bonuses will be determined by their performance versus other employees. 5. Men are more likely to take risks. Studies have found that men are more willing to take risks in the workplace than women, and so men are twice as likely to think outside the box and try things that haven't been tried before. 6. Men prioritize earnings more than women. Studies have found that women prioritize workplace friendships and control over their personal time more than their pay, and are generally less interested in advancing in the corporate world than men are. 7. Men retire at a later age. Only up until very recently, women retired much earlier in life than men. In the 1960s, an average man wouldn't retire until he was over 65 years old, but most women would retire in their early to mid-50s. Even as of 2013, men still retire on average 2 years later than women. 8. Men work more dangerous jobs. Despite the fact that women make up almost half of the US labor force, men are more than 11 times more likely to die doing their jobs. This statistic does not include the military. 9. Men work higher paying jobs. Men are far more likely to take demanding, high-paying jobs that require specializations such as software engineering and construction management. Even ignoring the fact that there are more men working in STEM fields, female doctors tend to specialize in areas that pay less than the specialties typically taken by male doctors, such as pediatrics and family medicine versus anesthesiology and radiology. And no, the fact that there are so few women working in STEM fields is not due to hiring discrimination. Studies have actually found a 2-to-1 preference for female applicants over equally qualified men, but there are far more men applying for the jobs. And if you wish to argue that the patriarchy is keeping women out of STEM fields, then you must explain why the patriarchy isn't keeping women out of certain female-dominated fields, such as veterinary medicine, psychology, pharmacology, and biology. In conclusion, I would like to close on one final argument. If companies could actually get away with paying women less for doing the same work, don't you think they would just hire nothing but women to save money? Does anybody out there actually believe that corporations are such boys' clubs that giving advantages to men is more important to them than their profits and shareholder interests? The very notion is absurd. Does sexism exist? Yes, but it is not the primary cause of the discrepancy in the average earnings between men and women, not by a long shot. To blame the discrepancy on systemic sexism is to take an overly simplistic stance on an issue which can be explained by a number of mundane factors which have nothing at all to do with sexism. If you wish to continue insisting that the earnings gap is due to institutionalized discrimination against women, then you are arguing that our society favors men over women, which is demonstrably false. So that's 9 reasons men get paid more than women. If you know of any more reasons, post them in the comments below, and don't forget to rate this video and subscribe.